Yes, I went to look at this AC the other day for my buddy. It was leaking condensation down through the furnace and out onto the floor. And I found that it was pitched improperly. It was like 3/4 of an inch out of level to the back corner opposite the drain outlet on the coil pan. So I went back the following day, and the electric had been turned off. He had just bought the house and just change over from the previous owners or whatever. But I went there this time and there's no electric. And I was just gonna leave and come back, but I was like, whatever. I got headlamps. I'll just get it done. I'm already here. I got all the stuff I need. So releveled the unit, but I didn't have any power to run the unit to confirm that there were no other issues. But I had no reason to suspect that there were other issues since it was so obviously so far out of level, and that seemed to be the corner that it was leaking from. It just seemed like the water would fill up to a point and then leak over the backside instead of out the drain. Uh, in the meantime, he had changed over the electric and had scheduled for them to turn it back on. So he was out there today and called, and there was even more water on the floor than there was before. So I went back out there, and turns out the drain pan was cracked right by the outlet. Usually, what that is it was over tightened. Let's see. You can probably see the light shining through it, but right there, and that's the outlet right there. So they only really need to be hand tight. So whenever they put it in, or if you had, the previous owner had work done sometime through the years, whoever put that in over tighten it. Possibly. Sometimes they crack from the heat from the furnace. It's hard to say. So since it was so late in the day, by the time I got to it, it was too late to call the supply houses to see if they had any in stock or whatever they'd be to order them. So I pulled the old one out. My plan is to try to seal it up with some high temp epoxy or whatever. Even if for only temporary, I'm still going to stop in tomorrow and see if they got one in stock or how far out they'd be and how expensive to order them or whatever. But at least this will work temporary so they can run the AC. I am using a high temp epoxy, so probably would be no harm in leaving it even in the winter with the furnace running, but probably not advisable if they materials expand at a different rate. That crack could reopen, but it wouldn't be an issue for leaking in the wintertime, just only when the AC is running. So I wanted to get this sealed up if there's no chance of getting a coil anytime or a new pan anytime soon. But I'm still going to stop in and see whether or not they have one in stock and how far out it would be to order it and how much it'd be or whatever. But I'll at least get this patched up in the meantime so it holds water. Hopefully. I've not worked with this particular epoxy before, but it seems pretty straightforward. Yeah, this stuff stinks. Yeah, so I cleaned and prepped the surface with a wire brush and cleaned it as best as I could with rubbing alcohol. Oh, what's up? Sorry, I had my hands full. Yeah, I was working on this air conditioner that was leaking condensation, and it had a couple issues. It was out of level, but it also had a cracked drain pan. So um, it was too late to get a hold of the distributor to see if they had one in stock or find out how far out it would be to order one. And we're looking at like high 80s, 90s, I think 100 degrees next Friday. So I pulled the drain pan and I'm sealing it up with this high temp epoxy. So it'll hopefully at least hold water temporarily until we can get a new one on order. Um, but being high temp, I mean, I guess if it works, could theoretically leave it there. I guess just my main concern would be that if the materials expand and contract at a different rate, it might split back open. What's up, Ray? There you are again. Yeah, I don't know what happened to that sushi stream. It never ended up in my VODs. That's getting there. I thought I had it fixed. Unit was at a level about 3/4 an inch, and I went back and straightened it back out, but there was no electric on, so I couldn't run it to confirm. And my buddy had the power turned back on today. It was leaking worse than it was before, so I went back out there and found the drain pan was cracked. So I think I've got it sealed up with epoxy. It just got to harden so it'll hold water. But I'm going to stop by the distributor tomorrow morning and see whether or not they got a new pan in stock or how far out it would be to order or how much it would be or whatever. But I'm not sure what the cure time is on this. But this should work at least until we can get another one put in there. This one says sets in 5 minutes and fully cured within an hour. But I don't know if it's the same for all of them or what. But yeah, so far so good. It's the same brand, it's just a different mix. This one's specifically a quick setting, JB Weld. This one's also JB Weld, but it's suitable for high temperature applications. I mean, it'll definitely be set by tomorrow morning, I would imagine. But yeah, some of them take longer than others. I got this other one. It's a marine epoxy that I really like. It's good for wet applications. It's sandable, and it just works very well for a really long time. But I don't think it's suitable for high temp applications. If I remember correctly, I think it's like 180 degrees or something. $200 sustained. But yeah, I was telling my buddy I was taking out the center console out of my car. This was years ago. It's a 93 Honda Prelude SI 4-wheel steering. And sticking the center console out and it cracked, but it was a straight break. So I took some fiberglass mesh drywall tape on the inside and then scraped some JB Weld across it with like a credit card, like a squeegee. And you couldn't even tell it looked like brand new from the outside. And the color matched pretty well from the inside too, so you wouldn't know if you didn't know. You know what I mean? But yeah, definitely an oversight on my part. I was there and had it all apart, and I even saw the line in the pan, but there's another line on the other side, so I thought it was just a depression to collect water. I didn't think it was a crack, but I had a water bottle. I should have, done a dry test and confirmed, and then I could have had this done. Had this pulled and done it yesterday instead of today, but it is what it is. It's fine. It was hard to see because there wasn't really electric on, so. But yeah, I would rather. I mean, it's as much work just to put in the new one than to put this one back in. So if I can get, the new replacement tomorrow, I'd prefer to do that, or like relatively quickly. But if I can't get the new one tomorrow, this one's going in just so they got AC to run. Well, whatever they're working on the house for tenants to come in. But yeah, that went a little bit smoother than I expected. Um, adult beverages, I don't know. I don't know what's TOS for streaming, but it's a Yingling. Not sponsored. But yeah, that went a little bit smoother than I expected. So I guess that's about it for now. But appreciate you stopping by. Yep. Yeah, appreciate you stopping by. That's about it. Have a good one.